on this. And finally, we have the name tags here as well, so I can hand over to Kimberli. And
So a little bit different role for me today. And go to the first slide. Okay. First, I'd like to introduce myself in the role of MedWOW. I'm an executive partner at MedWOW. MedWOW is a family-owned company located in Cyprus in Israel, and it started from medical professionals. MedWOW had a long history in the medical tourism field, and through that experience, the medical professionals in MedWOW realized there was a need for a worldwide medical equipment and supplies directory, both new as well as used. So a little bit about what we think at MedWOW and why verticals. And first, a little on verticals in general. When everybody talks about verticals and they think about verticals, they think about B2C. They think about local verticals or they think about topical verticals, and they very seldom think about B2B verticals in the B2B industry. But B2B industry is a very lucrative industry, and verticals in the B2B are very niche markets. That is why we believe very much in the verticals in the B2B sector. Now, in the B2B sector, of course, we have industrial directories that are very, very good. Some of our colleagues here from Kimberli Lewis, as well as other colleagues from Compass in France, excellent B2B directories. But what's the difference between a general industrial B2B directory and a vertical in the B2B? The B2B directories and general industrial directories focus on everything, focus on supplies, manufacturing, for all different industries. A vertical in the B2B will focus on one niche market. And I've used here another example, not our MedWOW example first, from the chemistry industry. This vertical is a very, very popular vertical with over 45,000 chemical industry-related entities in this. Now, probably all of us would never understand any of these businesses or not even be able to read this, okay? Because it's absolutely specifically focused at procurement and purchasers in this industry. And that is what we have done in the medical industry. We have developed two verticals, one for medical equipment new that is designed to have very, very specific and deep data targeted at procurement and purchase agents within the medical industry. Now, half of the information and half of the data in here I don't understand myself, okay? But this is developed and targeted by professionals in the medical field. So the professionals in the medical field looking for medical equipment know exactly what they're looking for, and the content here gives them what they're looking for, as opposed to a general directory. Developing such deep content and targeted at a niche industry such as the medical industry allows us to have not just a vertical focus, but also a horizontal focus. And when we developed this platform, we said we want to have it worldwide. Now there are vertical niche markets, but most of them are only in specific territories. Okay? There are medical equipment verticals within the United States. There are a few in Germany. But when we developed that, said we want to have a worldwide global platform. We have very high product categories, such as orthopedic devices or imaging devices, that then drill down to models as detailed as CT2000 by Siemens. Okay? And it is not always large equipment, it is also supplies. It could be gloves for operating tables, operating instruments, any kind of medical supply. And we have developed over 50,000 keywords, 80,000 synonyms for these devices, things that we, not in the medical industry, probably wouldn't even know what they are. Okay? Half the time I look at these words, I have no idea what they are, but the people who use this site absolutely know what they are. And why people like the vertical in the site, you're not going to have a procurement manager go to Google to look for medical equipment. What are you going to get if you put into Google crutch? You get one manufacturer or supplier in the medical field in Google. And they're not going to go there looking for that kind of equipment. They are also not going to go to B2C directories. Because if you put in a simple category such as hospital supplies in a B2C Yellow Pages, you're going to get results between hospital transport, supplies, or veterinary supplies. That is not detailed enough for the people who are purchasing in this niche market. In the B2B market, when we developed this, we realized, and we talked to procurement managers, we talked to doctors who are unsatisfied with being able to find what they need in normal directory sites or even in industrial B2B sites. We realized that in the medical equipment supply, that the advertiser spend is very high. It's a targeted market. It has a high ROA. It's recession-proof. And the average spending for medical equipment and supplies yields high return on the investment. Buying a medical supply or buying a CT, a hospital or a doctor's office will spend over 60,000 euros and only cost 2,000 euros to put in a targeted vertical advertisement with deep content into our directory. The medical equipment industry is one of the fastest growing industries in the world right now. The projections between 2011 and 2016 are over 20% growth in the United States, with growth between 5 and 25% worldwide. Our mission at MedWOW is to provide worldwide access to buyers, sellers, service providers of medical equipment parts by generating the context and leads both locally and globally through the first professional medical directory developed by medical professionals. We want to be the #1 lead generation platform for this lucrative market. And how do we do it? Our business model, we have 3 different ways we go about this. One is, of course, we have the MedWOW standalone site in some markets, but we believe in order to reach the local markets and reach the local manufacturers, we need partners in all different markets. We need partners, and therefore we share our technology. We will share our technology with other online players, and we can put our technology into other online sites through either iframes or absolutely full integration. This kind of partnership allows us to reach out to the local suppliers who also want to deliver their products worldwide. So how it works is our monetization channels are very, very simple for the advertiser. We have deep content listings with ranking. We have external listings with ranking, and I'll explain that. And we have pay-for-performance advertising. So for example, if I have a Chinese manufacturer and we have a partner in China, when I go into medical supplies in the Chinese market, I will default to the Chinese market for medical supplies located there if I'm sitting in China. Now that Chinese supplier of medical gloves, he will be ranked according to what he buys with us in that Chinese market. He will also appear in the worldwide market. If you go away from the default and put world search, he will appear there. And if that Chinese supplier wants to, he can actually apply ranking in a different market. If he wants to supply Chinese gloves to the German market, then he buys a different package under the default in Germany. So this gives the suppliers and manufacturers a much wider reach than they had in the past. It also gives procurement and purchasing a bigger choice than they had in the past. We also monetize, we have a sister site where we monetize with RFP, RFQ for used medical equipment. This is not in the vertical of new equipment at this time, that we have planned this at a later date, but this is another reason why when you focus on a niche market, you have the flexibility to really work with that market and come up with different business models that are advantage to your advertisers as well as your consumers. In our niche market in used, we also have the best ranking in Google for used medical parts, used medical equipment, used MRIs, hospital liquidation. Another advantage of having expertise, know how to do SEO correctly in a market. So generally, to just sum this up, we at MedWOW believe absolutely in vertical markets. We believe that the verticals are more targeted. We believe they allow worldwide access. They speak the customer's language. And verticals can be partners with other platforms, B2B platforms and B2C platforms. The medical market is very, very lucrative. The medical market is worldwide. Medical professionals and medical procurement people know how to search what they're looking for. And we have developed it with people who know what the procurement people are looking for. It's recession-proof and it's global. Thank you.